Right, welcome everybody. It is such a pleasure and an honor to be here live with one of my mentors, Jeroen. And I really like to refer to him as my lucky charm because the moment he came in my life as I knew it has never been the same. See, I've been in the online industry for quite some time, and it's a hard industry to succeed in. You know, not a lot of people make it unless you have the right coaches in the corner. And I've been doing everything, guys. I've been studying personal development for many years. I read books, I do meditations, I do visualizations, affirmations, and of course strategy is important, right? For your business and whatever you have planned, having the right mindset, absolutely. But I don't know if you can relate. Have you ever experienced a time in your life where you're just doing everything from the mindset, from the strategy, you're taking massive all-out action, but for some reason, you just can't break through, right? And it makes you doubt, and it makes you question yourself, and you're wondering, what is wrong with me? Why are all these people succeeding and manifesting wealth at ease? Right? And wealth, by the way, is not just financially, it's health, it's relationships, right? And why is it that you keep experiencing these blocks, these walls, right? So that's when I realized there must be something deeper, right? And we cannot access our subconscious mind by ourselves. You need someone to tap into that, and I could not think of a better person than Jeroen. In fact, Jeroen actually trained my millionaire mentor, Darren Little. So he's someone that works with top leaders in the industry and helps even them achieve massive breakthroughs in their life. So when my mentor actually quite a few months ago did a webinar just like this with Jeroen, and he said, Yulia, you need this. You have to check this out, right? Now, I'm obviously going to listen to someone that's really successful, right? So I partnered up with Jeroen I believe in late October, November. I had a few small breakthroughs in my business, but I got stuck. For some reason, I couldn't duplicate my results. It was like an energetic block almost. And it turns out what I had was an abundance block. And it's really interesting because consciously, I think money is a good thing, right? There's so many good things that you can do with money. It's a tool. But I had an unconscious belief, and it acted as a block, that money was evil, right? And these paradigms can stem from a very young age. I come from a communist background in Eastern Europe, and entrepreneurship is not really looked up to. So it made sense when he explained these things to me. And the cool part is that Jeroen was able to tap in to paradigms and energy blocks from a very young age, and not only from my lifetime, but from generations down. And he will explain how that works, but here's the results. Here's what happens to me, and I want you to keep an open mind for what can be possible for you. From the moment that I worked with Jeroen, I started having $3,000 days. I manifested a $10,000 conference in Hawaii where I got to network with the top marketers in the world, right? I started having, $6,000 in 12 days, $5,500 in just 1 week, right? Just honestly, miracles started happening. And the crazy part about it is it was all coming with me with complete ease. It was almost as if what I was seeking me and coming into my life, avalanching into my life with absolute ease and abundance, because I finally released those energy blocks. So believe me when I say I'm going to keep Jeroen next to me for a very long time, because every time I work with him, I'm telling you, miracles happen. And now I've crossed over 21,000 in commissions online, all profit. And yes, strategy is important. Yes, mindset is important, but sometimes you just need a little more help to go deeper and release those abundance blocks. So Jeroen, it's an absolute honor and a privilege and a pleasure to introduce you live here with our audience. You do want to stick to the very end, you guys, because we have a very special announcement. You could qualify to experience a live energetic block release. So if you're interested in that, and I'm telling you, you don't want to miss that, you do want to stick to the very end. So Jeroen, it's a pleasure to introduce you. Welcome, and take it away.
Thank you so much, Julia, also for having me here. And we chatted a little bit about your results, which are extraordinary and amazing. And yeah, we kind of discussed this idea about a webinar, and I love to to work with as many people as I can, as many leaders in this industry, because I do know how they feel, right? And I do still see that a lot of people are struggling, and they jump from opportunity to opportunity, or they work really hard and just follow the steps to success, but they're just not getting there. So it's an honor to be here. Thanks so much. So right now I will share my screen so I can actually come up with my presentation. And let's see. Okay, here we go. Can you see this? Can you see the screen? Can you give me a yes, Julia?
That is a yes.
Okay, cool, thanks. Okay, so welcome everyone to this special webinar from today that is about blowing up your blocks to abundance. And as the title implies, bring down your heart wall. A heart wall is something that is central in this presentation, and I will explain a lot more about this. And I am really looking forward to share this information with you, and I'm really grateful to be here because I've experienced this myself, firsthand. This is how I got to, call it a gift, call it a talent. I found out I was able to help myself this way, and now I am able to help others do the same thing. So today you are probably here, or chances are that you are looking for a breakthrough. Maybe you feel even frustrated because, like Julia said, you are focusing on personal development and personal growth every single day, reading books, listening to audios, and following the action steps from a mentor or a system or whatever business or system you're in right now to succeed. And you think positive every day, and you even do your meditation and visualization. You focus on love and gratitude, but you just cannot seem to get ahead. You just cannot seem to have that breakthrough that you are looking for. And I know exactly how you feel because I was there, and I will share with you a little more about my story later. Because if you are feeling this way right now, then chances are you have what is called a heart wall. Now, this question might arise right now, right? This might pop in your head right now. What is this? So what is this heart wall? But most importantly, how can I get rid of it, right? That's what we all want to know. Well, before I get into this, let me first share a bit about myself, because you might be thinking, who am I listening to here? Why should you listen to me? Well, my name is Jeroen. I am from the Netherlands, and I am a former fitness professional. And over 5 years, a period of 5-6 years of time, I helped tons of people transform their lives physically and mentally. And since 2.5 years, I'm a digital entrepreneur. And in my first 10 months online, I sponsored over 250 people. Now, since a little over 12 months, I found out that I had this talent to help other people have their personal breakthrough. And it evolves mostly around emotional and energetic blockages. Now, in this meantime, I helped 60 plus clients remove any emotional blocks that were found and experienced their own breakthrough. They manifested sales, bonuses, unexpected bonuses, job offers for jobs they were applying for like a year or even more, and even relationships or health improvements. And they mostly experienced immense shifts in their energy. And that's what is, I think, the most important thing, and the most common thing all these people have in common, that there's this immense shift in energy, because everybody is talking about, having this huge and massive feeling of this relief, exactly like Julia just shared. Now, a little more about my story. Like I said, 2.5 years ago, I started to work online. And in the beginning, I was really struggling. Then I've had some results, and then I got some better results. And so I just decided to quit my job. It was a risk, but I really wanted to live my dream. And I was working really hard for that. And I was ready. But then it all, became stuck. It all went down, and I was really, really feeling stuck. Now, I used to be called the mindset guy, right? I was in this team promoting another business deal, and I was used to call the mindset guy, and I was the guy to go to for personal development, for resources, for recommendations. But I had pretty little results. I just did not have the breakthrough that I was really looking for. So I wondered why. Because I was pushing so hard. I am here in Europe, in the Netherlands, and because of the time zones, I was always working midnight, all-nighters, have as little sleep as possible, because I needed to put in the work. Ask my girlfriend. We did not have a lot of quality time at that time, but I still didn't have much results. And like I said, I wondered why, what is there more to do, or what more can I actually do for myself to, to personally grow, and maybe to let go of something. Well, it was when I was ready to go through a mentorship, also with Darren Little, who, I'm still grateful for till the day of today, that I found out that I somehow protected myself emotionally from influences from the outside. I could not really connect with my own emotions, and that's why I had a hard time to connect with other people as well, and to connect with my goals and my dreams. So I found my solution, and that's when I found out about my talent. I found this method and strategy that I will share with you tonight. Then I could help myself, and I could eventually also help other people, which was really, really effective. Now, when I got my personal breakthrough, when I released a lot of these emotional baggage, and released my first hard wall, I was able to manifest 4 international deals for my former business, which was a health product. It was an offline business here. It was in spices, healthy spices, with my business partner. And out of the blue, we got appointments with people coming to us to ask us to, to ship and transfer our products throughout the whole world, to ship it all wide, worldwide, which was like crazy, because we were these 2 young guys, and we were like, okay, how is this happening? But I had a sense why this was happening, right? I was multiple times most income earner in one day out of thousands of affiliates at that time. And after releasing my second hard wall, that was the beginning of this year in January, there was an instant manifestation of over $4,000 in just one moment. It says one day, but it really was just 5 minutes. It happened in a blink of an eye. And I still have this post on Facebook. If you haven't checked it out, watch that video, because you've seen a major and massive shift in my energy right there. So if you are here right now live watching with us, or maybe later watching the replay, chances are that you feel desperate, right? Because it seems like you're hitting an invisible wall for achieving your desires, for getting that success that you are looking for, thinking that it finally gets better, like I experienced, and then to find yourself back to where you were, like you have to start all over again, right? And you start to wonder if there was only a way to somehow break this pattern. Well, I got some good news for you, because there is. So if you are ready to really break down those walls and smash those walls like this guy is doing here in this image, then pay close attention to what I'm about to share with you right now. Now, let me first take a sip of water because it's pretty warm here in Holland. So that I can continue well. Okay, now before we get into how this is possible, we need to understand energy. Okay, I want to go into understanding energy because energy is the true nature of our reality. Starting with you are energy. You know, it says here we are all made of energy, but actually we are energy. If you look at a guy named Semyon Kurlian, maybe you've heard of him. He was a guy that came up with a way to create. There was a way of photography to create pictures. He took pictures of an energy field. So what he did is he got some living things like a leaf, an apple, and he cut that in half, or he took it from a tree, and he was able to make a picture of the energy field, which is pretty amazing, right? So if you look at the right picture in this slide here, you see the fingerprints of a human hand. So for me, that implied that we have this same energy field as the other living things, right? Now, the most amazing thing came when scientists took a leaf from a tree, they cut the leaf into two parts, and they discarded the upper half. Then Semyon Kurlian put this leaf, this half leaf, under his camera, and what showed up was exactly the shape of the leaf within the energy field. So you could still see the energy body, so to speak, of that leaf. So that really amazed me, and I was like, if this is with living things like a leaf or an apple, then this has to be with a human being as well. Now, let's take a look at that, because if you look at your hand, it really looks solid, right? If you look at your hand right now, it looks solid. But if you put your hand under a microscope, under a 40 times magnifier, what will you see? You will see the individual cells, like it's pictured here in this pink little image, right? Now, if we zoom in a little more, say 850,000 times, we are eye to eye with a single DNA strand. Now, if we zoom in even more, then we go to 1 million times, we are face to face with an individual atom. Now, if you look at this image, there's little dots, the white dots. The space between those little white dots are more than 10 soccer fields. So imagine that this single atom, as small as it is almost entirely empty space and energy. So we are energy, right? Now, if you look at the energy body, the ancients called this the prana, the ki, or the chi. And they said that this was the spirit within us. It's the template for the physical body. And it actually has multiple layers. I don't have a slide for this, but you can Google this. And this energy body may become imbalanced. Now, if we are energy, then our thoughts are energy as well. And this makes a lot of sense because we can actually measure thoughts using this an EEG reading, right? And emotions are energy as well, because every emotion, each emotion has its own unique vibrational frequency. And we give names to those frequencies. Okay, it's all emotion, it's all energy, it's a unique vibrational frequency. That's why happy or sad or sorrow or mad, they all feel different, right? You can, I bet you can say that right now. You know what? Comment below in this box, in this Facebook chat box. Comment if that makes sense to you. You don't have to think about, if happy, feeling happy and really joyful feels differently than feeling worried or feeling really sad or, anger, right? We instantly know that it feels differently, but it's us that we give the names to it. Now, here's another example why emotions are energy. In this research, they measured the heat levels in a physical body when people were experiencing specific emotions. So if you look at anxiety, there's a total different, or love, there's a total different energy and the movement of heat levels in their body going on than if you look at depression, right? So emotions are energy as well. And we need those emotions because emotions lend color to our lives. Without them, life would be lived in shades of gray. Because emotions are actually what drives us to watch movies, to read novels, to go to a theme park, or to watch sports. Because it's in those activities, it's all about the feeling, right? But the feeling without the name, the label of being positive or negative. And that this is why we actually do these activities. So emotions are important to us. Now, recently we found out what actually emotional baggage really means, because we all have emotional baggage. Now, what emotional baggage really is emotional baggage consists of what we call trapped emotions. Now, what is a trapped emotion? Normally, emotions, those energies, right, with those specific frequencies, are felt by the physical body, by us, and then processed immediately. But sometimes emotional energy is so powerful that it may become trapped, quote unquote, trapped in the body. That is the energy body, right? And those trapped emotions can be very damaging. Trapped emotions can occur at any age, or they can even be inherited by our parents, or even, like Julia said in the introduction, go generations up or generations down, however you want to call it. So trapped emotions are an underlying cause of depression, anxiety, self-sabotage, your inability to connect with others or connect with yourself, and to overcome adversity. And last but not least, they are a abundance block. They block success and abundance, your ability to achieve your goals and achieve your desires. Now, trapped emotion is a ball of energy that has the size of an orange. You see here this little green ball in this image, and it may lodge anywhere in your body. It will distort the normal energy field, causing tissue imbalance and eventually physical and mental symptoms. Now, here are some examples of what could be symptoms of trapped emotional energies, like anxiety and depression, your inability to achieve success, your inability to connect or overcome adversity, isolation, panic attacks, or self-sabotage. All these things can come from these so-called trapped emotions. Now, being blocked from success is a symptom of imbalance, okay? And this accumulates more as we age. And just to be sure, know that there's nothing wrong with you, okay? It's not a reflection of you or your higher self. You are capable and do deserve success and abundance. Now, how does this actually, this imbalance is blocking you? How does it block you? It causes confusion. I bet you can imagine, and you can even, say yes to this, when you feel like there's this tug of war dynamic going on, this constant internal conflict, like you want to succeed so bad, but it's just not happening. And then the other day you don't feel any clear anymore about what you want, or why am I even doing this, right? There's this constant internal conflict, and it stops all progress. It pushes you around, it blocks your clarity and your passion to do things. And removing those imbalances is the solution, I found out. Because your natural state is the natural state of being, is abundance, and getting rid of those imbalances allows us to be in that state. Imbalances that you picked up throughout your life, or like I said before, inherited from ancestors, how many generations ever. So the main question right now probably popping in your mind is, how can I get rid of these imbalances, right? Excuse me. Well, in order for us to understand how this is possible, we gotta take a side road, because we gotta first understand the subconscious mind. And if we look at the subconscious mind, the subconscious is really our supercomputer. Okay, it runs 24/7, and like it says, subconscious, we are not conscious of what is actually making us choose something, or what is actually, attracting us, what is showing up as our outer world, since it's a reflection of who we are vibrationally. So the conscious mind is only 10% of our memory and of us, being consciously doing things. The subconscious steers the ship. It's 90% of who we are. And it archives and remembers everything we do and experience. Remember that what Julia shared in the introduction, when I found stuff with her, with other clients from childhood or even before she was born, that's because all that information is in the subconscious mind. And like a binary computer, we can ask yes or no questions and get answers. So that's a little tip of how I work with my clients. I'm able to tap into their energy field and then get yes or no answers. But more about this to come later in this presentation. So the body is really like a lie detector, okay? Like a lie detector or polygraph. It will always reveal the truth, right? And the body can innately tell the difference between truth and falsehood. So this is how we use this method to actually get these answers and then get into the releasing and, get them to the surface, so we can help the energy body release these blockages and release these emotional energies. The method that we use to do this is called muscle testing. Okay. Now, later in this webinar, well, let me just keep that little secret for you, because there will be something at the end of this webinar. So keep listening here, because this will be very exciting. It's the first time I'm actually going to do this, but keep with us here, and you will find out what we're going to do. But with muscle testing, we can get answers from the subconscious mind. So we use the body, and if I were to be with you right now, right, and I would connect with you and ask one-on-one in person, I would press down your arm like the man is doing in this image, and then with a strong energy will be a yes answer. So if you would state out your name, I would press down with only 2 fingers like the guy's doing, and it will be strong. So you will be very strong, like your arm is locked, right? It's not going anywhere, and you will see that you don't have to do anything for this. It's happening automatically. The energy is strong. It's a yes answer. But if you would state a different name, then I would be able to press down with only 2 fingers your arm pretty damn easy. Okay. Now, another type of muscle testing we use is proxy testing. So that's when for example, I use my girlfriend Joyce. She assists me. She taps into the energy of someone across the globe. It doesn't matter where he is or where she is, and then I can test her all the while I'm asking questions. Okay, but most of the time I use this method called distance healing, where I do the muscle testing on myself. So I can connect with other people, their energy, I can ask the questions, and I can feel in my body, in my arm, in my hand, I can feel the answers, which is a yes or no. So I can feel the difference between that energy. So the information about trapped emotions is in the subconscious mind and all the other blocks as well. But let's, since we're talking about hard walls, we'll focus on trapped emotions. And muscle testing accesses that information. So we can determine what the subconscious mind already knows, right? So, sorry. When we access the subconscious, the vibrations and what you hold in the subconscious is far more powerful than the conscious mind will ever be. So what we can do then, when we bring them to the surface, we can do specific and powerful edits to your vibration that will then, allow you to attract abundance and whatever else you desire in this life. Now, if we look at the heart wall is the key to unlocking your full potential. Okay, it blocks your natural state of being, and I found with all my clients that I worked with that over 90%, around 93%, actually has a heart wall. Now, sometimes we say we had to put up a wall to protect ourselves, right? When someone, most of the time that happens in a love story or something, right? Well, that is actually quite literally, because sometimes our hearts need protection. And the heart wall is a protection mechanism to keep the heart from being broken or being more hurt than it already had. And it's an energy wall to protect you. So follow your heart is then not quite possible, right? So the heart wall is a perfect protection when you need it. It's like a bunker, like a bomb shelter. It's great for when the bombs are falling, but not a permanent solution. And the subconscious mind is actually responsible for keeping the heart safe. That is how the heart wall is formed when you need it. So we don't have actually conscious control over it. And it can use the trapped emotions as building materials to make a bomb shelter around your heart. Now, if we look at the heart wall, then each trapped emotion is one layer in the heart wall. So if you look at an onion, like in this image, which is pretty cool because the center is in the shape of a heart, when you cut an onion in half and you look inside the onion, you see the center, which represents the heart, and the onion rings around it, they represent each layer of the heart wall. Okay, that's literally the wall that is built around that center heart. So each layer is a unique trapped emotional energy, and each heart wall emotion, like we call it, is different. Now, heart wall emotions is actually the same thing as a trapped emotion, but because they are built up to become a heart wall, we call them a heart wall emotion, and they can come from any time or any kind of event, and they are not always related to feelings of heartache or heartbreak, and not always emotions generated by the heart. They can be generated by any organ in the body. Now, when a heart wall is being formed by the subconscious, any trapped emotion that is handy can be used to build a heart wall. It's like grabbing the nearest building material to add to the wall, right? And this is why inherited emotions, which you did not pick up yourself, but you got them through one of your parents and then maybe generations up, are often part of the heart wall. Because when the conception is happening, when before you were born, those energies are being transferred to you as you grow inside the womb. So that is why inherited emotions are often part of a heart wall. And most probably a heart wall started early in childhood. Inherited emotions from specific major events that happened in other generations, and mostly involve any form of terror, violence, abuse, anger, or an unsafe environment. And sometimes when we look back now, when I find these things with my clients, then they cannot really imagine that this was a big thing or a huge thing at that time, right? But as a child, we experience these things far more different than we look at it right now. So at that time, it could have been a really great impact on, you know, the being and the child as you were at that time. And most of the time they come from, you know, their parents or grandparents. So what are the results when you have a hard wall? Well, it blocks you from success. It blocks you from the ability to feel. Okay, it's hard to connect with others. It's hard to feel the success and feel your achievement or connect to your goals and dreams, right? Which is, well, pretty important. Other results of a hard wall are also depression, anxiety, isolation or numbness, or even physical pain. And it also is harder to heal physically. Now, follow your heart, in my opinion, is the best advice ever given, right? Because if you can follow your heart, you can follow your intuition, it will lead you to the path that you need to go. But what if you have a hard wall? You can't actually really, quote unquote, feel, right? So that is why when you have a hard wall, by definition, you have an abundance block. Now, everybody has access to universal abundance, right? Your ability to find success will be hampered if you have a hard wall. And many people have found success, like Julia, and I will share some more stories here, after their hard wall has been removed. Now, the hard wall has a few unique characteristics. And one of them is when we look at the structure, it often has some kind of building material, okay? It can be made of wood or metal or stone, or sometimes other materials like, you know, things out of nature like grass or plastic or blankets or paper or food or chocolate. I've seen chocolate, I've seen bananas, I've seen lots of really funny and amazing things if you think about it. And often this has some kind of affinity or symbolism for the material, for the specific client. For example, I had a woman with a hard wall that was addicted to chocolate, right? She was addicted to chocolate, and that's why her hard wall was made of chocolate. And then another woman, she had a hard wall and she could not eat bananas because she really hated it. Well, guess what her hard wall was made of? It was made of bananas. So to the subconscious, it's pure logic. If you as a child loved to play with a specific toy, or you loved a specific candy bar, I've seen that as well, then to the subconscious, like I said, it's just a supercomputer. It searched for logical things. So it's really logical to pick that specific material and build that around. Now, sometimes when you think of stone, diamond is the hardest material, right? It's the hardest material on planet Earth. So I've seen a lot of people with a hard wall made of diamond, and that often implies that you really needed that protection because it's such a hard material. The next thing we can find out is the thickness. So how thick is actually this hard wall? And to the subconscious mind, like I said, to this supercomputer, there's no limitation, right? This is an energetic body, it's an energetic wall. There's no limitation. This can be a couple of millimeters up to thousands of miles. I've seen people, I've tested people with a hard wall who had a hard wall with a thickness of thousands of miles. And each layer can also be different. So some layers can be a couple of millimeters, even 1 millimeter, but others can be 1,000 miles. We never know, right? Like I said before, only the subconscious knows. It knows the truth. It has the answers. So it's all 100% real to the subconscious. And it can indicate the level of protection needed. Exactly the same thing as with the diamond example that I just shared. Now, if you want to remove a hard wall, it's really important to release each hard wall emotion that causes the hard wall to become thinner. Okay, it happens one layer at a time. Healing happens in layers. I always say that to my clients. And sometimes they become a little impatient, and I was there myself, so I can really relate to this, but it happens one layer at a time. Now, once it's cleared, you should be more able to feel love, and you should feel the difference immediately or after a couple of days. Some of my clients had the most amazing experiences and results after a week when their heart wall was removed. So it's different for anyone else. Now, there's also one other thing that might happen, and that is what we call a hidden heart wall. Now, it's exactly the same thing as a regular heart wall, but it's this extra protection by the subconscious mind. So it not only puts a wall around your heart, it actually hides the wall as well. And I've seen this a couple of times with people when I released the first heart wall, that there was actually another heart wall, but it was hidden all that time. And now when the first one was released, it was ready to come to the surface. So it can actually be identified at all times. Now, if you feel like you are missing out, right? You are missing out on success that you are longing for, that you are looking for. Maybe you're missing out on money, on sales, because you put in a lot of hard work. Maybe you even feel you're missing out on self-worth or on confidence or your creativity or inspiration. So you're really missing out on freedom, right? And you think you are finally ready to break free from those emotional blocks and vibrations that keep you stuck. And you're ready to turn on the flow of abundance and finally get out of your own way, right? Well, all I can say is don't wait for change. Make it happen. That is the only choice you really need to make. Now, before we go into, ending this webinar, we're closing the end. But before we go there, and before I announce what we're actually going to do here on this webinar, is that I want to share with you a couple of testimonials of clients which had the most amazing and the most profound experiences when working with me, going through those sessions and releasing their heart wall completely. And these are various people with emotional blocks, and they had a heart wall. They were feeling stuck, and they were always pushing around, and they were really blocked from success and looking for a breakthrough. So the first one I like to share is Seb, short for Sebastian. He is in the UK, and he said, going through the sessions with Jerome, I had more and more clarity every week. Clarity about what to focus on, clarity and alignment with my goals, and daily action steps in my business. I also felt more inspiration after each session. And after releasing my heart wall, I felt so much more confidence, and I was feeling more connected with myself, more emotionally open, and overall happier. And best of all, within a few days after releasing the heart wall, I had the biggest income day in my business. It was over $800 in 24 hours. And he said, I would highly recommend Jeroen's help, as being stuck is no fun at all, and it's almost impossible to do it on your own. I remember working with Seb because he was really working hard. He had a full-time job, and he also had a girlfriend, so he had to really push his time. And I can remember when I released this heart wall. It was about the same time when I released my second heart wall, and he said, "Wow, dude, what just happened with you?" So I shared with him the story about when I released my own heart wall. So I can remember till the day that I said to him when I released his a couple days later, like, dude, be ready, because this is going to happen for you. And the day after, he messaged me, he said, dude, you were right. And he sent me a screenshot and said, I just had the biggest day in my business. So that was really, really amazing. And for me, I was truly grateful to help him get there. Sean, another guy, Sean from Canada, he said, if you're struggling to break free of your inner voices holding you back, as he called it, from the abundant life that you deserve, this is for you. I would highly recommend Jeroen, since I had some serious breakthroughs that I didn't know existed. This was a testimonial that he did before. Recently, I think a couple of weeks ago, we released his hardwall completely, and he managed to have his biggest day ever in his business. He had 2 huge sales in one day coming all together. It happened out of nowhere. He woke up, he got this notification. So he earned $2,500 in just one day, which was pretty awesome to experience for him. So then another woman who's dear to my heart is Julia from Canada. And she was really down. She was really, really down. And she tried so many things, connecting with a lot of people, chatting with so many people every single day. But it was like they were running away from her. And I even discussed with her the strategies that she was using, and she was doing well. She was doing fine. She was sharing lots of value, and she was connecting with those people on a personal level. But it was just not happening for her. So when she was going through the sessions with me, she was able to get her first sale. And with that, she earned her first $1,000 online in just one day. And then after releasing her hardball completely, she found the funding for her business to go next level, which she thought was impossible, right? Quote unquote impossible. And I'd like to share with you some specific screenshots. I asked her permission for this. She said, sure, whatever I can do to help others, of a chat that I had with her when her hardwall was released. And she said, I have goosebumps head to toe right now. I've made some big decisions yesterday about moving forward. Holy moly. That's why this is coming up. She was actually crying while typing this. And peeling away the layers, just like an onion, deeper and deeper. Awesome. Getting even more comfortable with being uncomfortable. Well, if I knew Julia before this, and she was pretty uncomfortable doing videos or talking to people. So this was a huge shift, a massive shift in her energy. And then she said, this is weird. I typed this out, read it over, and my tears dried up. And that's when the goosebumps started. Interesting. I am so grateful that I decided to work with you, Jerome. You have made monumental difference in my life and can't thank you enough. And, the pleasure was all mine. And I was truly grateful to help her move forward. And she's doing pretty well right now. And of course, I want to share also a little more about Julia, who's on here together with me. And the specific words she used were, I wanted to release my abundance blocks, particularly motivated to increase my income. And I was amazed to feel the release immediately. I was crying a lot and I felt the pain releasing. And after this release, I manifested so much more easily. Income and opportunities definitely increased. Lots of changes occurred to me short after releasing a lot of energetic blockages. I manifested over $3,000 in just one day, and then $4,500 in 1 week, and over $6,000 in 12 days. I've made it over $18K in just a few months. It came to me almost out of nowhere, without any resistance and with complete ease. I was really amazed how easy abundance came to me once I released my blocks. I would definitely recommend your own services. There are certain emotions that you're just not aware of on a subconscious level. Jerome can release emotional blocks that originated from when you were a child. Now, this was from the earlier period that we started working together. Right now, we are still actually working on her hardwall. So it was such an amazing thing happening with Julia, because in her first session, after her first session, when she decided to work with me again, and then we decided to focus on her hardwall first. And I think this is mainly the reason why we are actually doing this webinar for you guys, because after only one session, she had lots of emotional release, and she could tell because I didn't message her that I was about to test and release for her. And she messaged me actually, because she could really feel like, okay, out of the blue, she started crying. She said, I started crying out of blue. I bet you did something, right? And I said, yes. And then one day after, she manifested $350 in just one day without putting any work. She just got that commission from her team doing actually nothing. But that was not all, and she was ready for more. So after a second session in that same week, she had an over $1,500 day. So that was pretty amazing. And I also wanted to share my own little story here when I released that second hard wall. And I encourage you to go on my Facebook wall, and if you want me to comment below this webinar broadcast, in the comments, say yes, I want to see the post or something like that, because you can really see that energy, and it shifted so much for me. So basically what I said is, over the past 2 weeks, I released 16 trapped emotional energies that were forming a hard wall around my heart. And with them was an inherited psychic trauma that consists of multiple, actually 2 or more trapped emotions that were going up 4 generations on my mom's side. And like I said, a psychic trauma consists of 2 trapped emotions. The profound thing is that after I was able to release this hard wall completely, I got a message from my accountant with some really good news. So I called her up, and she told me that she did some calculations, and that I would not even save over 2,000 euros, but that I would also have to pay from last year's earnings, right? The taxes that I would have to pay here, but that I will also receive over $2,000 back. So that was like an instant manifestation of over $4,000, and that was actually no joke. I can remember I put those words in. So that was a pretty amazing experience, and at that moment, there was like another moment that I really knew that this is actually working. This is really helping people, and I was really grateful to be able to experience it myself. So I kind of give it away a little, but what we are going to do right now is we're gonna give you a live demonstration. Julia asked me to do this, and I was not sure because there are a lot of circumstances, but I was thinking, why not? Because if we could show people that we can get information from someone's subconscious that we don't know, because most of you, I don't know personally, I don't know anything about your personal life. So if you want to participate in doing this right now, I will ask Joyce, my girlfriend, to assist me. She will join me here in a second. And right now, I want you to comment yes if you want to participate, and if you want to give me and us permission to actually do this together with you. And I also would like you to share with you what your age is, okay? So just a number, because we can use that information to actually find out when it originated and when this all happened, when it got formed, and when the specific layers of the hard wall, because we will be going into releasing a layer of that hard wall when this all occurred, okay? So Julia, you will watch the comments right now. So comment now below this screen, as we will go do that in a few minutes. We will actually invite those people, 2 volunteers, to join us in this live stream here, and then we will go into the actual method and going into tapping into their energies and see what we can find. Because first of all, if we want to identify these heart wall emotions, we need to know if they have a heart wall, right? So that's the first thing we got to do, and then we'll see what we can find. Now, are you there, Julia?
Yes, I am. I was just going to say, take advantage of this opportunity right now. Comment yes down below if you are on the webinar page, if you're watching this on YouTube, wherever you are, just comment yes below and take advantage. I'm going to put you in the draw. I'm going to use a random number generator. So if you ever wanted to experience an abundance block release, this is your time. So do it right now, comment yes, and I will add you to the list.
Awesome. So as you are going to comment all below this screen, below this video, let me share with you how we actually gonna do this. So we're gonna show you the method that we use, the muscle testing that I explained, you know, in this presentation, to get answers from the subconscious mind. So step one is to connect with your energy. You know, whoever is coming out here, we're gonna connect with you, and then we're gonna ask questions, and we're gonna show you the difference between testing, you know, Joyce stating out her own name, and then when we connect with the other, stating out another name, you know, whoever is coming out. So then you'll see that, you know, I can press pretty hard with 2 fingers, but not that hard. And you'll see that it doesn't take any effort for Joyce to keep her arm up. So then we'll know that the connection is actually made, right? So then we can start the testing and getting those answers. So do know that healing and this experience is different for everyone. Okay, some might feel this, and but others don't actually at all. They have there's this time of processing that is about 1 to 2 days after the releasing, and in that period of time, people can actually feel some different things happening. It's possible they don't, but they most of the time feel that they need some extra sleep, or they find it hard to to sleep, or they have vivid dreams. There's also one of the symptoms that can occur, or they just overall a little more tired. And I always compare this, since I was a personal trainer, which is a pretty well comparison for me, is that I always compare this to the physical body. So the energy body actually works kind of the same thing as the physical body. When you go for a workout, right? So for example, you've been not going to the gym for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and then you go for a workout which is pretty heavy, you probably feel sore, right, for a couple of days or maybe even a week. So that implies that your physical body needs that time to recover from that workout, right? And this is like an energetic workout. Your body needs the processing time. It needs to recover from this release. And the subconscious mind knows how much we can actually do this with our clients in one session. So how many layers, how many energies can be released. And then, so I can keep on testing and asking questions, but then there's probably more to find for that specific client, but we cannot release it right then and there, because the subconscious, like we said, knows it all and knows when to stop and when to have that processing time. So what we use, and I think I can actually get this right now. So are there any comments yet, Julia?
Yes, we are packed with comments, and there's also people on our social media that have been blowing this up. Our list of volunteers is quite long, but we'll do our best to pick fair and square. I'll use a random number generator. But what do you think, Jerome? Should we give them like one last chance to comment? Yes, down below?
Yeah, sure. That's
okay, I'll refresh the screen.
Okay, cool. Okay, so as we wait for another minute to give you the opportunity to comment yes below, let me share a little more. So what we're going to do, and what you're going to see in a moment, is a chart. So there's a chart of the most common emotions that can become trapped, right? So as we use the muscle testing, we're going to identify which of those emotions are right now blocked and creating that imbalance. As you will see in just a moment, when I stop sharing my screen, I will show you what this chart looks like. Now, the way we can actually release these emotional energies, these trapped emotional energies, is by the use of a magnetic field, okay? And what I will do, and I have a magnet here, and I will show it to you in just a few moments. I can create a magnetic field with two rolling balls. It's like, well, I will show it to you in a minute. And why a magnet? A magnet actually is a magnetic field is a pure form of energy, and as experience taught, it is actually a great way, a great energy to carry intention. So what is the intention for the magnet that I use? What is my intention for my clients, right? To release those emotional blockages, to release those emotional trapped emotions. So that is why the magnet for me is a great way to help people release those. So are we good to go, Julia?
Absolutely. So you guys, the moment you've been all waiting for. Can I get a drum roll? So, all right, what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to put in the number of people that have attended or asked to participate, and I'm going to use a random number generator. So I'm just going to click go right now, and it's going to automatically, Jerome, do you want to pick 2 people or just 1 right now?
I think 2 people is okay.
Okay, perfect. So ideally, it would be nice to have a male and a female to, show a wider range of experience. So I'm just going to press go right now and go. All right, so the numbers that came up were numbers 9 and 2. So first up, we have Ronnie. Ronnie, if you are alive here, I will send you the link. Ronnie, actually, I know personally, and I will actually send you that link right now if you're live. So if you are here now with us, I believe you are because you messaged me before, please say yes. Let us know that you're ready, and I will send you the link. And I'll tell, should we say who the second person is so that they become ready? What do you think, Jerome?
Yeah, let's do that.
I like to build the suspense. So the second person we have, Jared. So I'm so excited for you guys. Congratulations. I'm going to be sending you the Google Hangout link so that you can join us live. So just give me one quick moment. I'm going to send you that right now. So, but this is exciting.
Awesome.
Really exciting.
Okay, and so while we wait, when these 2 persons come on, let me first of all introduce you to Joyce. Is Joyce my girlfriend?
Hi.
And let me unplug this so you can actually hear her. So can you still hear us? Can you still hear me?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So first of all, let us show you how we use this method to actually test, connect with people and then test. So as the image implied earlier in this webinar presentation, what we're going to do is Joyce is going to stretch out her arm like this, and with only 2 fingers, I will press down on her wrist just like this. So do know that I do use quite some power to press it down, but it's easily, not at once, it's just easily in a couple of seconds. So when Joyce will state her own name right now,
my name is Joyce,
I will press it down, and I am pressing it down pretty hard, as you can see in my muscles here. And as you can see, she can still smile and wave, nothing's gonna happen, right? Because her name is Joyce. So a true statement here is a yes answer, which is a strong energy. Right now, if she would say any other name, for example, my name is Julia.
My name is Julia.
As you'll see, I am pretty able to easily press down her arm. I have to put some pressure, it's not going down like this, but you can totally feel, and she can totally feel the difference, and you can actually see the difference between a strong and a weak energy. So that's what we're going to do. Let me see if I can actually show you. The emotions chart that we're using here. Okay, share my screen. Okay, so here is a chart that we're going to use to identify the emotions that are the most common emotions that that we can find to release. So now you've seen this. I've seen this. I see this is not a really good choice with sharing my screen, as you can see here. So I'll stop sharing this screen so I can actually talk to the people when they're on. If they come on, I hope so.
Hey, Jeroen, so
Yeah.
it looks like we might have to give the opportunity for other participants. I did my best to reply on the webinar page. So guys, consider yourself lucky because I'm going to run the draw again. What you need to pay attention to is on this webinar page, I'm going to comment under your comment, and I'm going to send you a private message on Facebook with the Google Hangout link. So please pay attention to that. And I'm going to do another draw. Okay, here we go. All right, so now we have numbers 19 and 7. So number 7 comes Sherry Morgan, and number 19 we have Stephen Myers. So Sherry and Stephen, take a look at the webinar page. I'm going to send you a message, and I'm going to give you the private link to access the webinar. Okay.
Cool.
I believe Stephen is not on my friends list, but I can definitely send you a message. This is exciting.
So while we
guys,
while we wait for Sherry and Stephen, or maybe one of them, so we can actually get started, I will show you what I actually use to release those emotional energies. This is kind of funny, like a glass. So this is a magnet. It's called the Mag Boy or the Mag Duo, and this creates, as you can see, as I roll one ball, the other is start to move as well, because it's creating together. It's creating a magnetic field to actually release it. Now, some of you may be knowing the meridians from an acupuncturist, right? Those energy flows in the body just below the skin where they pin their needles in, right? Now, there's one governed meridian. It's called the governing meridian. It's the biggest one. It's like the highway of those energy levels, of those energy energy flows in the body, and it starts at the upper lip right here, all over the top of your head, down all the way down to your spine. And that is exactly what I will do when I release those trapped emotional energies that we find. So when we are able to connect through Joyce, like I said, as a proxy, through Joyce, then connect with that people. And hey, I see Charlie coming on. Able to connect. Hey, there's one. Cool. Let's quickly then connect. Yeah, awesome. So first connect with their energy, and when we pinpoint and we found the right trapped emotion that is being stuck, then I will use the magnet to run it down Joyce her back to actually release that. And the moment of releasing is different for everyone. Okay, most people do not really feel it, but as I know, Julia is really sensitive for it. She can feel it pretty well. So let's introduce our guest, Julia.
All right, so actually, Charlie is one of my students from my mentoring program, so I'm really grateful that I can have one of my students on here. Charlie, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to unmute you so that you can have the chance to connect with Jerome here. Jerome, I believe the muting and unmuting functions are in your hands, so maybe you can give him a chance to talk.
Yes, I will.
Have the chance to connect with Jerome here. Jerome, I believe the muting and unmuting functions are in your hands, so maybe you can give him a chance to talk.
Yes, I will. There's a little delay, I see. Can you hear me, Charlie? Can you hear me, Charlie?
Hello.
Yes, I will. Hello. Nice
Hello.
to meet you. Nice.
Jerome.
Hey, I can hear you, but there's a little delay. Can you hear me, Charlie?
I can. Yep.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, awesome. So, could you share with me?
Hello, Joyce.
Hi.
Could you share with me, Charlie, what your age is? Okay, awesome.
I'm 21 with a wee bit of GST.
Could you share with me?
That makes me 59.
59. Could you share with me, Charlie, what your age is? Okay, good. So, you can hear me live. There's no delay.
59.
Hey, Jerome, if you have the actual webinar page open, you might want to exit that or mute it. Sometimes if you have the Google Hangout page and the webinar page open,
Right.
you can have that done.
Yeah, I have it on pause, so not a problem, I guess. But what we're gonna do, Charlie, we're just gonna get started, okay? I only wanna have permission. So if you are able, if you say, well, you have my permission, just say yes, so we can actually do this for you right now live. And we know your age right now, so we can get some more information. We can get into the live demonstration, and then I will just share with you what we find, okay? After what we find, I will ask you if some of it makes sense to you, okay? And I will share with you what we find, okay?
Okay.
After what a couple of things can happen. It can happen that, for example, we find something from your youth, and it will pop up straight away in your mind what this was about, okay? It can also happen that it takes a couple of minutes before it to pop in your mind, or it can happen that it will not pop in your mind right now, maybe even in days or weeks, okay? Just know that it's not that important. Do not overthink it. You cannot come up with any related situation or event that happened. It's okay. Our main purpose here is to let go of it, to release it, okay? You cannot come up with any related situation or event that happened. It's okay. Our main purpose here is to let go of it, to release it, okay?
I got both. Hey, earlier, can I take off either the webinar or Google Hangouts? Because I'm actually getting both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you turn off the webinar and you can stay on with us here on Google Hangouts. That's okay.
Oh, that's
You
better.
should eliminate the background noise.
Okay, awesome. That's much better.
Oh, wow, that's better.
Okay, that's just the three of us. Okay, so I'm going to mute you out right now, Charlie, and just let it wash over you. You may be feeling something or maybe not. We're gonna take a second to focus on connecting with you, and then we're gonna actually show you that the connection is made and go into the testing. So two things we're gonna do. One is to find out if you have a hard wall. If yes, what the thickness is, when it did occur, and how thick the hard wall is, okay? Then secondly, we're gonna see if we can release a hard wall emotion that is one layer of that hard wall right now, okay?
Awesome.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let me mute you so we can get started. Okay. Let's see if we have a connection.
My name is Charlie. My name is Charlie.
Okay, as you can maybe hear, can you say it a little louder, Joyce?
My name is Charlie.
Okay, so now Joyce is stating, my name is Charlie, and this is really strong. Okay, so now we're connected. So the first question I'm gonna ask, Charlie, do you have a heart wall? And we get a yes. So for my purposes here, I'm going to write down yes. So when did this heart wall of yours, Charlie, occur? Was this before the age of 30? Yes. Was it before the age of 20? Yes. Before the age of 10? Okay. Was it before the age of 5? Was it before the age of 3? Okay. So it was between 3 and 5 years old. Was it when you were 3 years old? When you were 4 years old? Okay. So this this heart wall started when you were around 4 years old. Okay. Now, what is your heart wall made of, Charlie? Is it made of something thicker than wood, harder than wood, I have to say? Okay, it's harder than wood. So is it made of stone? Okay, is it made of some kind of metal? Okay, is it made of iron? Okay, it's made of iron. I'm not sure if that makes any sense to you, but I will ask you in a few. So how thick is your hard wall, Charlie? Is your hard wall thicker than, what can we say? Let's say meters or centimeters. So is it thicker than 1 meter? Is it thicker than 5 meters? Is it thicker than 10 meters? Is it thicker than 50 meters? Is it thicker than 100 meters? Is it thicker than 100 meters? No. So is it thicker than 75 meters? Is it 100? Is it 100 meters? Awesome. 100 meters. So as you can see, sometimes when I test together with Joyce, she can actually feel the answer before I test it. And sometimes you feel this, you see this wobbling thing going on. That's maybe probably because it's right at that point. So when I ask, is it more or less, for example, than 100 meters, it's wobbly. When I ask, is it exactly 100, it's straight. So we find a hard wall of when that started at the age of 4 years old, and about this age, I can imagine that you probably cannot really remember a lot about that age, but maybe you do know. So Charlie, can you share something with us that makes something of this sense for you right now?
Not really. I'm just trying to think.
Okay,
I don't.
just no. Okay, just let it wash over you. Maybe something, like I said, pops in your mind. What we're gonna do is we're gonna continue to actually ask if we can release a hard wall layer right now. Okay, so make sure that we're still connected. Okay, still strong. So now we're gonna ask, can we release a hard wall emotion right now? Okay, yes we can. You probably all seen the chart of emotions that I just put out. I have the same chart right here. So now we're gonna identify what this emotion is. So first we're gonna ask, is this emotion in column A? Okay. Is it in one of the odd rows? So it's either in row 1, row 3, or row 5. Is it in row 1? No. Is it in row 3 or row 5? Okay, it's in column 1, row 5. Now we have 5 different emotions that are in this little box. So is this emotion blaming? No. Is this emotion dread? No. Is this emotion fear? It's fear. As you can see, this is strong, right? So I put down, it's fear. So let's ask, when did this emotion occur? Was this before the age of 30? Yes, before the age of 20, before the age of 10, before the age of 5, Okay, so it's between 5 and 10 years old. Is this when you were 5 years old, 6 years old, 7, 8? Okay, when you were 8 years old. Let's ask if did you feel this emotion yourself, Charlie? Yes, you felt it yourself at the age of 8 years old. Does something come to mind for you, Charlie, that happened around that age?
Yes, I think I was coming back one night from watching some TV because we had no TV in that time. So I was actually at a friend's house watching TV one night and came home. And my brother gave me a huge fright on my way home. So I think I remember bursting through the gate, and the gate was all locked up with a piece of rope, and I actually just smashed right through the gate. I mean, so I don't know if that's that makes
That had some huge impact. Now,
yeah.
the interesting thing is that we can actually ask if this is the situation that this is about. So let's ask, is what Charlie just spoke about, is that what this fear, that this trapped emotion of fear is about? And that is really strong. So that's exactly what this was about. So let's ask, do we need to know more about this emotion? No, you see, it's a no, it's really weak. So can we release this right now? Yes, we can. So what I'll do, I take the magnet, I run it down, Joyce her back all the way from her neck down 3 times. And to make sure that it has been released, I ask, is this emotion now released? And we get a yes. Did you feel anything from it, Charlie?
I just took a deep breath in, so something happened.
Okay, cool. Okay, good.
It was a sigh of relief, sort of actually.
Okay.
I just went,
Right. Yeah, that happens a lot. Sometimes people feel a little shiver on their back, or they feel like this heavy weight is like, you know, shifted and off their shoulders, and some even people get goosebumps, or it's like, oh, that felt like a relief. So yeah, that happens. Thank you so much, Charlie. But before we go to Sherry, because Sherry just shared us here, before we go to Sherry, we have to disconnect because still Joyce and Charlie are still connected energetically right now. So to do that, she has to state her own name again.
My name is Joyce.
And you see, the first time my name is Joyce is still weak. See that? So
My
now.
name is Joyce. My name is Joyce.
Okay, so most of the time, after 3 times, she is back here. So thank you so much for this opportunity, Charlie. I'm going to mute you out. We can chat later. And
thank you, Joyce and Joanne.
you're welcome. And let's go to Sherry. Sherry, I will unmute you here. Is that the right pronouncing of your name,
Yes,
Sherry?
Sherry. Yeah.
Okay, welcome, Sherry. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Thank you.
Do you mind, Sherry, sharing your age with us?
I'm 46. I'll be 47 in a couple weeks.
Okay, 46, and we do have your permission to work with you right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So let's see what we can find, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so before we actually going to test, let's take a moment to connect with her, focus. Okay.
My name is Sherry. My name is Sherry.
Okay, it's rock solid. So let's ask Sherry, do you have a hard wall? That's a yes. So when did this hard wall occurred? Was this before the age of 20? Yes, before the age of 10, before the age of 5. Okay, so between 5 and 10, when you were 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, or 8. It's 8 years old. Now let's see. What is your hard wall made of? Is it made of something harder than wood? Okay, is it made of stone? Is it made of metal? Is it made of stone? Made of stone?
Yeah.
Okay, is it made of a specific type of stone? Is it made of diamond? No. Is it made of, what can we say? Is it made of bricks? It's made of bricks.
Bricks.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, it's made of bricks. And let's ask, how thick is your hard wall? Is this thicker than 1 meter? Okay, thicker than 5 meters, 10 meters? Is it more than 20 meters? More than 50 meters? Is it more than 100 meters? Is it more than 200 meters? More than 500? More than 1 kilometer? Okay, so it's less than 1,000 meters. Is it more than 600 meters? More than 700? More than 800? Less than 8. So between 7 and 8, is it more than 750 meters? No. Is it more than 720 meters? Yes. Is it more than 730? So is it 725? More than 725? Less than 725? Is it 724? 23?
Yeah.
Okay. So exactly 723 meters is the thickness of your hard wall. So probably you needed that protection around that age of 8 years old. Does something make sense to you right now, Sherry?
Yeah, I think that's when my mom and dad split up, probably.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. So let's find out if we can release one layer of this hard wall right now, okay? So the next question we ask is, can we release a hard wall emotion right now for you, Sherry? Yes, we can. Is that emotion in column A of this chart? It is. Is it in one of the odd rows? Okay, so it's an even row. Is it row 2? Row 4? It's row 4, column A, row 4. Okay. Is this emotion anger? No. Is it bitterness? It's bitterness. Let's write that down. And did you felt this emotion yourself? Yes. When was this? When did this happen? Was this before the age of 20? Okay, before the age of 10? Before the age of 5? No, when you were 9? 8? Felt it? Okay. Do we need to know more about this emotion? So is this related to what Sherry just shared with her parents splitting up? Yeah, that's a strong yes. So can we release this right now? Yes, we can. So let's do that. We grab the magnet and roll it down Joyce her back 3 times. And let's check, did we just release this emotion? Yes, we did. Okay, that made sense, I guess, to you, Sherry, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how do you feel? You feel any different?
I just felt a bit of chills. When we first started and we were connecting, there was so much sadness. I felt like just crying my eyes out.
Okay.
But I did feel the connection. So it's this lady that has the connection and you do the communication?
Yes, so right now,
Yeah.
Joyce is connected
Joyce.
with you.
Yeah.
Right, normally
Okay.
I am connecting with my clients from all over the world, but as we wanted to show you actually, you know, how this is possible, how we can get the answers, and how the connection is happening. This is why I'm now using Joyce as a proxy.
Right, I
This
see.
is happening.
Okay. I could feel
So-
Joyce. Yeah, that's good.
Good. Okay, so let's make sure we're disconnected so we can get, you know, this webinar wrapped up.
My name is Joyce.
Okay, Joyce is back. Thank you so much, Sherry. We can chat later. So let me mute you and keep hanging in here. Keep with us. Stay with us so I can share my screen again. So as you've seen right now, to break down that wall, we can identify major issues that are holding and that are blocking your natural state and your abundance that you are totally not aware of. So if you are ready for this, if you are ready to release emotional blockages and maybe even inherited emotional energies that you completely are not aware of, and eliminate each layer one by one and get rid of that hard wall completely to finally achieve your goals. Let's just ask the question, what would it be worth to you? What would it be worth to you to remove your emotional blocks once and for all for the rest of your life and to rebalance your vibrational balance? Because your vibration is creation, right? Vibration is what is creating your outer world. And to finally start manifesting the success that you deserve because of the action that you are taking every single day. Now, if we look at the industry of personal development and personal growth, we spend tens of thousands of dollars. If I even look at myself, I am one of them. I used to be one of them who spent tens of thousands of dollars on seminars, on events and books and DVDs and audios. And if you only look at events, I've been to a couple of these events, and I have to fly across the globe to go there, book a hotel, and the whole experience, it's just about a couple of thousands of dollars, right? And I used to go there twice or three times a year, so it cost me a lot of money. But I can tell you that change is coming. And to get started together with me, because we will have a cooperation like we just did live in this webinar, it's not going to cost you $10,000, not even five or $2,500. Now, the regular price that I used to offer to my clients to go through the whole process of releasing a hard wall is normally $1,597 to go through the whole process. That will not be the price as well today. There will be a limited offer for only 25, sorry, that should be 15 people. Sorry for the typo, because I have a tight schedule and I want to go deep with people, of a one-time payment of $697 to go through this whole releasing of the hard wall. Or you have the option to get a split payment of 2 times for $397. There should be a button on this page right now. So if you want to take advantage of this limited offer, this offer is till June 9th, which is next week, next Friday. 15 people, so not 25, sorry for the typo, 15 people I can take on to help them release all the energies, all the layers of their hard wall, and to completely release those hard wall, those energies. So what do you receive? What do you get for this offer? You'll get distance healing sessions with me, which will not take you any extra time. There will be an introduction where we can talk a little more about my methods. I will share some videos for you to watch, but it will not cost you any extra time. It will be 1 or 2 times a week consistently, depending on how bad you'll need it and what we can find. And you know what, I was thinking, if we can find another hard wall at the end of these sessions, or maybe a hidden hard wall, I will give you the same offer. Instead of the $1,597, I will give you the same offer for $697, or the 2 times split payment, as I share right now. And you will have a guarantee of releasing that hard wall. Okay,
So why can I say there's a guarantee of releasing that hardball? Now, some people need around 4 to 6 sessions. I've had many clients going through these sessions, and for some there were needed 4 to 6 sessions to release that hardball completely. Some needed around 6 to 8 sessions or 8 to 10 sessions, but there were also people, clients of mine, that needed more than 12 sessions because it was pretty deep, and as I shared before, it happens layer by layer. So the bonus I share with you right here is that I will not share, I will not give you 4 to 6 or 6 to 8 or any of those amounts of sessions, because I am not putting any limit to the amount of sessions that I'm sharing with you, that I'm offering you here. As many sessions as you need to release that hardball completely. And I will give you a minimum of the 4 sessions guaranteed. So if within those 4 sessions the hardwall would be down, we can focus on something else and we can personalize it completely up to your needs. Okay? Now, in my opinion and in my experience, there are only 2 options here. And the first option is you can either choose out of fear and the lack of something that you might have not right now, or you can choose out of love, right? Self-love. Because what I used to say and still say to a lot of people that I've talked to in several businesses is that you are worth what you invest into yourself. So the question you can ask yourself right now, what do you choose? What can I choose right now? What do I choose? What decision will I make right now? And my final question to you is, what is your willingness to change? What is your willingness to change? Have you struggled for so long to really, go next level in your business, or finally have that results that you can cling on to and work from there, and from there the manifestations will be more and more clear and more easy, like what happened with Julia? So what is your willingness to change? Ask yourself that question right now. And for this, I want to thank you so much for watching, for attending this. And if you really are serious about changing your situation, you just saw a live demonstration about how we work, and I can share with you a lot more stories. I can share with you a lot more into detail how we all work, the methods, all of that. But the thing is, you need to decide for yourself if you are ready to finally let go of those things and experience a massive change in your energy and a massive change in your situation right now. And I am truly grateful that I am able to share this with you, and that I am able to help people move forward, because I see a lot of people still struggling and not getting ahead in any kind of business, or in life in general. So if you are serious, I highly recommend you and encourage you to click one of the buttons below this broadcast video to work with me now, so we can start scheduling our sessions. And I am really looking forward to be helping you and seeing massive shifts and massive breakthroughs in your life. So that was it for from my side. Any last comments or thoughts from you, Julia?
I was just going to say, I really like that you brought up your willingness to change, right? Because sometimes we have to experience a lot of pain before we can finally make that decision. So, my question to you is, you got 2 routes right now. You could keep doing what you've been doing. You can take the hard route and invest. In the long run, you're going to invest more in marketing and skills and your business and personal development and seminars, right? I know I still do, right? But there's something that's not working. And in the long run, you're still going to spend that, right? Or you can grab this opportunity by the horns and really, you know, choose a professional that can go much, much deeper than anybody can into your subconscious mind. And I'm telling you, my friends, it has been a wild journey. And I've been able to manifest over $21,000 online. I've finally been able to live the freedom lifestyle that I've always wanted to. I get to do this full time. But not only that, I even experienced releases in physical pain, right? There's so many, like, wealth comes in so many different ways, like financial and in physical and relationships. So whatever you want to work on, you know, Jerome is really good at picking that and helping you release the block that you're experiencing to achieve true freedom and abundance in your life. So I can tell you, it has been worth every single penny, and that's why I hired him again and again and again. Yeah, I guarantee Jerome, you'll be in my life for quite some time. So listen, guys, you know, act out of love, act out of self-love, and give yourself the gift of freedom, and click the link below and take action now, because everything you want is on the other side of fear. And I'm telling you, it's worth the leap. So thank you so much for joining us live here with Jerome. And you are here for a reason, and you are meant to live an abundant lifestyle. So take action now, click the button down below, and we'll see you on the other side of your wildest dreams.